and speak directly to this audience of people who are just interested in getting and staying healthy.
Well,
speak directly to them about what they should do, what actions they should take based on your research, what you have proven in the lab.
We have come to realize that glioblastoma and all major cancers for that matter are the result of a chronic disruption of energy through the mitochondria. So the focal point of cancer and health, by the way, is mitochondrial function, the function of the little organelle in our cells that regulate the cell cycle, that regulate the energy metabolism. If you can keep your mitochondria healthy, you should be able to avoid cardiovascular disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, all of the different kinds of Alzheimer's disease. 40% of Alzheimer's disease is diet and lifestyle issues. If you can keep your mitochondria healthy, you have the possibility of significantly reducing the risk for cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular, you name it. This is why it is very, very dangerous about what I'm saying, because this doesn't take, as Philip said, you don't have to treat with drugs. If you know how to keep your mitochondria healthy, you can avoid most of the stuff that they're pouring on us. The problem is the diet and lifestyle that we have puts us in the path to having all these diseases. I mean, we lack exercise. I mean, we don't even have to get out of we don't even have to unask the car to go in and get a hamburger. They hand it through the window so you can drive up and you get a donut or a hamburger. You don't have to leave the car. I mean, we have become so sedentary. We have become so filled with foods that are poorly nutritious and high in glycemic index, damaging mitochondria and putting us at risk for all of these different what we call chronic diseases of Western civilization. So people say, well, what am I going to do? Go back and live like a caveman? The caveman didn't have hamburgers and fraps and jelly-filled donuts and all this kind of stuff. But they also didn't have cancer. They never, Albert Schweitzer, the great physician humanitarian, was remarked about these African tribes not having cancer. They have infections and other things, but they didn't have cancer. Same with the Inuits, the Eskimos, they didn't have cancer. Many of the Aboriginal peoples never had cancer. Was like, there wasn't even a word in the vocabulary. Now it's like overtaking heart. In China today, cancer has replaced heart disease as the #1 killer of their population. And what is responsible for this? It's the diet and lifestyle. So I think I'm not going to tell people, don't eat jelly donuts and pizzas. I just would say no, that it's okay, but every now and then you might want to do something that will give your mitochondria give your mitochondria a break, give your digestive system a break. What do? You skip a couple of meals every now and then. Do more exercise. That'll reduce the risk significantly. But when you're told that cancer is a genetic disease, or you have a gene, that's all bullshit. Because there's no gene that we know of that's 100% penetrant. So gene is a risk factor for sure. Some people inherit like BRCA1. What does BRCA1 do? It damages mitochondria. But only 50% of the women that have BRCA1 really get breast cancer. What about all the ones that have the BRCA1 that don't get breast cancer? Or Li-Fraumeni or all of these other inherited risk factors. People, it must be genetic. No, it's not. The gene is just simply a risk factor, as is a chemical carcinogen, as intermittent hypoxia, as oncogenic viruses. They all attack mitochondria, putting you at risk for replacing oxphos respiration with fermentation. And if you can keep your brain cells healthy in Alzheimer's disease, you can prevent neuronal death. So again, now there are some genes that will give you Alzheimer's disease, which you can't do anything about. But there's only about 5% of these people. The vast majority of people are getting Alzheimer's disease from the same kinds of things that will give them cancer and obesity, type 2 diabetes, and all this other stuff. obesity has now moved ahead of smoking as the #1 risk factor for cancer. Jesus. So you stop smoking, get fat, and get cancer. So cancer is still there. You just got it before from smoking. Now you get it from too much fat. So,
now you have less fun as you get there.
I mean, you can't believe it. I mean, when you understand the physiology and biochemistry of what's going on, it's just astonishing. And then you try to tell the medical establishment, this is what's happening. And this, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
So